All right, folks, I got a really nice one here. This is going to be a very fuel efficient, good running, later model for me, little SUV. This is a 2006 Saturn Vue wagon, SUV, whatever you want to call it. Let me start her up. Alrighty, and I can show you that it does have 142,449 on the clock. And as you can see, there's none of those annoying check engine or warning lights on. I mean, the only thing on, obviously, is the brake light. That's because I had the handbrake on. So as soon as you take that off, see the little green light goes on. It's supposed to do that. That's your daytime running light. As soon as you pull the brake handle up, that goes off. And of course, the little warning light saying the hatch is open, because it is. It's got some nice equipment. First off, we'll start out showing you that it does have OnStar, as you can see, which I think is a great feature. It's got compass and temperature, and it's actually, today's a pretty warm day for fall, so I can, you can't tell, but I'll turn the air conditioning on just to show you that it does work. Let's do the power windows. We got your right rear, down, up, deep tinted glass. There's your right front. And we'll swing it on around here, and this is your left rear, down and up. And of course the all-important down, auto down and up driver's window. Let's see, horn works, no problem. There you can see your wipers work. It's got an AM FM.
Believes that they've got the talent.
As you can see, it's got a CD player. I don't know whether the CD player works because there's no discs in there and I don't have any. The air conditioner is ice cold. Okay, so just so you know, I turned it on and you can see the little light goes on. It is ice cold. It's got power mirrors. A little switch here. There's your right one. In, out, down, up. Come on around to this side. And there's your driver's side. Power mirror works exactly as it's supposed to. Very, very nice. It does have cruise control, and it does have the controls on the steering wheel for the radio. So it's actually for, you know, basically a stick shift 4-cylinder SUV. It is pretty darn nice. And just so you know, this is a front-wheel driver. This is not all-wheel drive, okay? This has this little compartment here. You know, you can put your change in your coffee cups, what have you, in there. And then there's this little compartment here. It's in pretty nice shape. It's got a little staining on the seat, as you can see. But overall, it's actually in very nice condition, as you can see, on the interior. All right. There you have it. Now we'll go take a little walk around the outside. Here's your driver's door panel. Now, one thing I like about doing the videotaping of Saturns is the doors are all made of plastic, so I don't have to like get down underneath and show you that there's no rust, because I know there's no rust because they're made out of plastic. It's got the Saturn floor mats, and as you can see, a little hole worn in, which you would expect right by your clutch brake pedal there. Alrighty, I mean, the car is, you know, 8 years old, 9 years old, and what have you. Driver's seat's in pretty darn nice condition. As you can see, it's not all worn out and whatnot. It does have the adjustable wheel. Power door locks with remote keyless entry, by the way, too. All right, coming around the front, you've got your left. These are matching Cooper tires, but I have to be straight up with you guys. I'm going to guess you probably have about a third of the tread left, maybe even a little less than that. You're not going to get a lot of mileage out of these tires. You're probably going to want to put some on before the winter gets really bad. Nice clean aluminum alloy wheels, as you can see. There's that tire. But like I said, I'm not overwhelmed with how much tread is on this baby. There you go. And we'll go to the front. Okay, now going on the body. The whole side and doors of this car are made out of plastic, so it does not dent. Yes, it can get scratches in it. Yes, it can get cracked. But it doesn't dent or rust. That's the beauty of it. I believe the only metal part is your hood, the top of the car, and I believe the rear deck lid is also that. But what you see, right front door, no nicks, no scratches, obviously no dings. There you go. Here's the passenger side front. There you go. I'll take a look up here at the headliner, you can see. And it appears that this car was very well maintained, which is always nice. All right, come back here. As you can see, this door Little scratch right there, nothing really that big. It actually looks pretty darn nice. And here's your rear seat. See, it's got the rear power point and a little cup holder in the back here. There's your rear door panel. And again, like I said, it's all made out of plastic, so you don't have to worry about any corrosion. And of course, here is the quarter panel. See all these little things here? That's just stuff that came off the tree, so don't worry about that. Again, there's about the only scrape I see is on this part of the bumper. The rest of the side of the car, as you can see by looking down, it is pretty darn nice. And of course, here's your roof. That was your antenna there for the OnStar. Moving around to the back, it's got a very spacious, as you can see, rear hatch area, and it's got the split fold down seat, as you can see, which is nice. So you can actually fold that seat down if you don't need to carry a lot of people, even though it is a 5-passenger SUV. Fold those seats down, you have a nice flat cargo area to put a lot of stuff in. And it's got this little thing here too, which is kind of neat. You pop this up and it's got these things that pop out. And basically it's like a grocery carrier, you know, so your groceries don't roll all over the floor. And well, here we'll take a look at the rear bumper. You can see that, and we'll even take a look-see underneath the car. There you go. All right, we'll do your rear hatch. Because like I said, this is steel, so if it was going to rust, it would be right around in this area. But it looks pretty darn nice and clean. All right, the rear hatch looks pretty good. It does look like it has one dent ding right there. And again, the deep tinted glass. And we'll do the roof on this side. There we go. Coming back here. We'll do, again, a couple little scrapes there. Left rear quarter panel looks good. Nice and clean, no scrapes, no scratches. One tiny little scratch on the left rear door. And here's your little door jamb. And of course you can see the condition on this side. You know, like I said, it's got a little staining. And the best thing, what I would honestly do, probably, I personally, would just get a nice set of seat covers. That would fix that up real nice. And you've already seen the front here. All right, I'll close that. And left front door, driver's door, looks pretty good. You know, a little scrape there, but no big deal. Left front fender. Looks like about the worst on this car is this spot is the front bumper cover, which if you wish, you can replace that. That's up to you. You know, you can just buy a bumper cover these days. But other than that, I mean, actually, it's not that bad. Personally, I would just buy it and run the car, but that would be up to you. Depends on how fussy you are. Here you go. Take a little look underneath here. There you go. All right. Now, this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the Ecotec 2.2 liter engine in this. And that's a great little engine with the 5-speed manual transmission. And this engine in this thing, the 2.2 liter engine, A, it'll last a really long time because it's a very reliable setup, but B, it'll also get you really good gas mileage, especially for a mid-size SUV. Yeah, you're not going to get 50 miles to the gallon, but you know what? It'll do pretty good for the size of the vehicle. And here's one of the reasons why I say I think this vehicle has been well taken care of. When I got it, it had very nice, clean-looking Dex Cool antifreeze. A lot of times people like stop putting the Dex Cool in, they just throw green antifreeze in there. But whoever had this car actually really took care of it. And they even filled up the washer fluid. And that's pretty impressive to me. Oh, that, and of course the matching tires, that means a lot too. And as you can see, your hood, very nice, clean condition. And the motor sounds really good. It doesn't have any high rev taps, noises, no knocks in the motor, you know, that sort of thing. And if I could figure it out without getting my hand stuck somewhere, I'd rev it up for you, but it's not that obvious on this one. All right, oh, and this is nice. It's even got, as you can see, what we call a strong arm. The piston works just like it's supposed to. All right, close the hood. And you can see even the hood doesn't have like a lot of paint missing, you know, as far as like paint chips, that sort of thing, or stone chips, I should say. And as you can see, the whole car actually represents itself pretty darn nice. But none of that really matters, folks, unless it runs good. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to take it out for a ride. All right, folks, before we take it for a ride, there's one thing I always try to do in every video is start the vehicle when it's cold, which you saw me do before. You know, the car was ice cold, and now I'm going to start it again after it's had a chance to warm up. It's been idling for 10 or 15 minutes, so here we go. And the reason I do that is that's a common practice you would probably want to do, whether you buy a car from me or not, just as a standard kind of thing. Because certain vehicles, depending upon the warmth of the engine or whatever, will exhibit certain different manifestations of things being wrong, like a bad starter, things like that. So basically the rule of thumb is start it cold, start it hot, and that way you at least know that it starts in both conditions. And of course, you know, I started it hot, and of course there's no check engine lights on, just like before. Nothing to fuss about. Here we go. Clutch feels really good on this. Another nice thing about the stick shift is with the 4-cylinder engine, it gets up and goes really nice. You know, not like if it was an automatic transmission. It wouldn't be quite as spunky. I mean, we're at 55 miles an hour already. And we're doing 55 miles an hour. All right. 5th gear, hands off the steering wheel. As you can see, both hands off. We're not, you know, moving really bad one way or the other. I do hear, and I'm sure this is because of the tires, a little bit of road noise. Not bad. You probably can't even hear it on the video. But I like to tell every possible thing I can. So I'm guessing that if you put a set of nice radial tires on this thing, that noise will completely disappear. But because the tires are down to like a third, a quarter of the tread, that's why it's making the noise. Well, like I said, it's not even that bad. You just turn the radio up and you would never even hear it. But that was a terrible job. I just did turn it around. Gee whiz. All right, here we go. Now we'll head back. And here we go. Now I do notice just a slight, and only on a really rough spot, I do hear a little bit of clunkiness in the front end. Not bad, but it's there. So again, like even on these little bumps like this, it's a pretty rough road. Like I'll go over here where it's really rough. You can't even hear it. But if you hit like a pothole or, you know, like a low entrance to a driveway, you'd hear a little clunking. Just wanted to tell you about it, that's all. All right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a brake test, and pretty much all that's going to consist of is me pulling into a vacant lot across the street from my place, let go of the steering wheel, slam on the brakes, and we see what happens. There's not a whole lot you can actually tell on the video, but you can keep your eyes on the steering wheel, and you want to make sure the thing doesn't wildly fly to the left or to the right, telling you there might be some kind of brake balance problem. I do this at about 20, 25 miles an hour, hands off the wheel, and ooh, actually, I got really good news. I don't know if you could hear it on the video. I could hear it, but of course you can see the steering wheel did its little dance like that. That's actually a good thing. That means that this vehicle has anti-lock brakes, which in my opinion, one of the best safety features you can have. It does have dual airbags, and airbags are great, don't get me wrong. But if I had to choose between one or the other, I would take my anti-lock brakes, because that actually helps you avoid getting into an accident rather than the airbags that might save your life after. All right, so let's do a little recap. This is a 2006 Saturn Vue 5-speed 4-cylinder engine, front-wheel drive, 142,450 miles. I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod here so we can take a walk around outside in the brighter sun. I was over in the shade there before, and I want you guys to actually get a view of how nice this is. The air conditioner works great. All the power options work. I mean, it's just a really nice car. And of course, as I always do, I'm going to be selling this at a very good deal. Oh, one thing I never mentioned before is, if you happen to live in the state of New Jersey, you've got a year left on the inspection. Let's back up, let you guys take a little tour around the car. Alright folks, so if you're in the market for an inspected, fuel efficient, very reliable, smallish 5-passenger SUV that's going to be sold at a very inexpensive price, then this would be the one for you. And as I always do, I hope this goes to a good home. Thanks.